So confirmation then of the halftime score here. 8 points to 3. Paarl Boys High lead at the moment, courtesy of the only try of the match. Well, it certainly was a try worth waiting for too, because it was excellent player from Henry van Rieden. He found the outside space. Just watch how he burns Josh van Rieden at fullback for Paarl Roos to get around him and score within the first couple of minutes of this match. So, absolutely brilliant start by Paarl Boys High. In the meanwhile, Brendan Venter is down and Gareth Wright will have a chat to him.
Well, with me, former World Cup winner Brendan Venter with South Africa. Brendan, what have Paarl Roos got to do to turn it around the second half?
I think they need to take their chances. They've created a couple of situations where they just didn't come away with any points. But it's been a great game so far. Two well-coached teams.
Well, obviously, later on, the imminent Springbok announcement. In your view, any surprises that'll be in that announcement?
I think if you look at the Lions players and you see them as surprises, there might be a couple of Lions players. But, you know, I think they've had such a great season. I don't think there won't be too many surprises that Alice will throw at us.
Well, finally, your old sides in the Stormers and the Free State Cheetahs are playing against each other at 3 o'clock. What is your viewpoint on that?
Look, I will always be a Cheetah in my heart. My boys are Stormers, but my heart's hoping for the Cheetahs. It's probably my head says Stormers, but I'm really hoping for the Cheetahs in this one.
Oh, brilliant, Brendan, and enjoy the second half.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
So Brendan Venter, who's done so much for South African rugby over the years, great to see that he's still involved. And nice for us to have an opportunity to chat to him too at halftime. So, well, have a look at those match statistics then. And a fair number of handling errors there from Paarl Boys High, which they won't be happy with, nor the penalties that they've given away. Other than that, it's been pretty much a tight match all round. Paarl Roos missed 15 tackles there, which is also quite an alarming statistic for them in many ways. But they've got the wind at their back in the second half, and Damian Willemse and Josh van Rieden have educated boots that could make quite a difference to the cause of the home team.
You captain.
So Damian Willemse with a pretty short kick in, which didn't quite go the 10 meters one feels, but it was certainly played inside that area. Now Paarl Roos, what will be their tactic in this second half with the wind at their back? And they look to use it. Time Lyle Hendricks caught in possession.
Leave it, Blue, leave it.
Can Kutsia ignite his backs too, but he's going to need some yeoman work from his pack of forwards too. They got very little possession in the first half of that first half, and then things started to improve for them. Josh van Rieden will want to make sure that he gets into the back line when the opportunities come, and with the wind at his back he can certainly do that. Willemse, chase from Lombard, great catch that, and good positional play from the fullback.
They read it out so well, did Gianni Lombard.
On the mark.
But again, it's that short restart that's causing Paarl Boys problems. They're sitting too far back, and it's allowing Paarl Roos to compete. But some wonderful play by the live wire fullback Lombard.
Oh, has this kick gone out? No, it's stayed in field. Damian Willemse is up and under. He's got the wind at his back, but it hasn't gone far enough. So he just taps it back. Now work from Kutsia. Hayden Topley to... Well, we've seen a couple of times there's been some really good covering too from Frankie Horn. But on that occasion, his kick going a little bit wayward, so straight into touch.
Well, there's a tactic from Paarl Roos. They've looked to move their bigger side in Paarl Boys around, and they've won another line out yet again.
Yeah, Johan Joubert has done really well for them in the line-outs. They played smart rugby, have Paarl Roos, without all the possession that the champion side have had. There's a penalty advantage here, and
Blue from the side. On the ground first there.
again Paarl Boys High coming in from the side of the ruck.
One blue from the side.
Big competition at the breakdown.
And what is flummoxing the visitors is the fact that from the line-out, Paarl Roos is sitting so quickly. Before they can blink, the ball has gone in and they're starting to maul. That's not allowing Paarl Boys to set and compete at line-out time. And the tactics are spot on from Stefan Jabber.
Open up for me.
BJ Dixon has been a source of possession along with the number 7 flanker Jabber.
No. I need you to step. There's the middle.
Well, this is positive play by Paarl Roos too. They could have kicked it goal, but they've decided they're going to pursue the line-out option, which is working well for them. Now, can they start the second half just like Paarl Boys High did the first?
Get the ball line. Don't. Leave it.
Kutsia, Lombard looks to go himself. He's done well there, and then the little pop pass to Lyle Hendricks goes astray.
Play on.
Kick downfield from Eugene Johannes. This is a big chase for Willemse now. Johannes has got all the pace he needs, but Willemse is a very, very solid rugby player. Done really well. He's offloaded as well to Bruce Kutsia. And that's right in front of the supporters, so the players giving that little bit extra.
Hands off. Step.
Paarl Boys are doing well, coming away with it. Some good work there from Franco Horn. Lombard, the long pass now. He has a chance for Lombard. Surely Lombard should have passed it. Eventually he gets the pass away. And Paarl Boys High have turned it round. They've carried it virtually the whole field outside of that little interlude there from Damian Willemse and scored a super try.
And the man who started it all, Eugene Johannes, has got Paarl Boys the second of the afternoon. One thought that Johnny Lombard could have butchered it. It was quick ball, spun down the line. And Lombard should have let it go earlier on. However, it's worked out for him. He managed to get the offload away. And Eugene Johannes has turned it around to get in for their second and give them now a 10-point advantage on the scoreboard.
Well, whatever doctor is at Paarl Roos, he would not have ordered that. Paarl Roos really wanted to start the second half well, and it's been countered. So chance here for Lombard to get his second successful kick. Well, it hasn't been his day with a boot, but certainly Paarl Boys High, with those 2 tries that they've scored now, 2 super tries, have stretched that lead.
And they're the finishing movement, but it started off by that man in shot, Johannes, and finished by the right winger.
Push this up. Stop line. Let's do it.
So it's a blood sub then for Reese Poseidnout, who's off at the moment, and MJ Strauss has come on. Change of direction with a kickoff here from Damian Willemse.
Good. Break off your feet on the ground.
Paarl Roos off their feet there, says the referee Botma.
Oh, it's getting quite animated on the touchline. As Takia Abrams did well enough to secure possession, and then Paarl Roos just flopped off their feet. And it'll be left up to Ryan Lombard to find touch.
And we've seen some good kicking today, haven't we, out of hand. That's another brilliant kick, that right tight against the touchline. He's carried it a good 45 meters.
That's a super effort by Lombard, and he's got his side right back in the half of Paarl Roos.
Now Daniel Jooste got lots of options in the line out. His captain Salman Murat, very often the primary target, but not on this occasion. Goes to the back to Franco Horn. This is really good play here too. They've got a steady maul and it's progressing in the right direction.
Get the ball now, get the ball.
So quickly out it comes. Here comes Lombard.
Hands off, now release him.
Well, that ball might have been won. In fact, it has been won. Brilliant play there from Aiden Topley to turn it over for Paarl Roos. Willemse decides to go down the middle of the field. Dangerous when Lombard's around. Drop attempt here from Lombard. Struck it well, but not well enough.
Well, I found that absolutely bizarre, Gavin. The maul is going forward. How can he tell the Paarl boys guys to use it? They're in momentum, they're in control. And I found that decision by the referee simply astounding. However, be that as it may, Paarl Roos have an opportunity now to restart the game with a 22-meter drop in.
Yeah, it's a good point that it sometimes can be a bit confusing to young rugby players.
Now what Damian Willemse needs to do, he needs to kick a contestable restart here, because if he goes deep, Paarl boys have about 10 players back who can run it back at him, and he's gone for the wrong option.
Brings in Lombard. And Gianni Lombard's done well because, you know, into the wind you stand a little bit deeper at full-back, but he's got the pace to make sure that he stays with play. Nuggety play here from Paarl boys high, but they've given away a penalty, holding the ball on the ground.
That's Moses again, who's done some yeoman work at the breakdown. He's got in a good position and he's managed to win his side a penalty.
Charles Sedain, the man penalised on that occasion. There's a kick downfield from Josh Vermeulen.
Gavin, you touched on it. We've seen some wonderful touch finders from both outfits this afternoon. Another one coming in from Josh Vermeulen. Kicking out of hand on both these sides has been something to behold, as we see this substitution in the form of Mbete coming on for Tristan Leach.
Just hold on, hold the throw. No.
Daniel Steinman, as we said, has done so well in the lineouts, but on this occasion it's been won by Paarl boys high. Michael Visser did a lot of kicking over the top in the first half. He continues that now with another contestable ball. Up for it was Takir Abrams. He seems to have done himself a little mischief there. Well, it's a 10-point game at the moment, but one still gets the feeling that anything could happen here. Paarl boys high, Paarl Roos rather, with a wind at their back, and also with a little bit of territory advantage, one feels.
You just feel it's custom made for a tight finish. If Paarl Roos can get points in the next 10 or so minutes, they could be in with a shot.
Yeah, they might want a few more before that, even if they can. They might not want to wait 10 minutes. Here's the bounce of the rugby ball, foiling everybody once again.
That's a good option by Lombard. He's keeping his pack going forward. He's found grass.
The middle.
And good execution by the number 10 in the form of Lombard.
Steinman.
No, that's a more than second down.
There. Jesse Johnson, the catcher.
Time.
Yeah, a few calls away, Mr. Ref. Some concerns there that Paarl Roos had, but the decision has been taken. The ball was not used. It was in a maul situation. And frustrating that for Paarl Roos.
They set the maul, and it was Kutsia looking to get it to the back. And the knock-on came in, well spotted by the referee. A great attacking position for Paarl boys. They should have an extra man due to the fact that Paarl Roos' scrum off is on the far side of the scrum. Look for them to try and bring in Lombard into the action.
Well, he's hovering around the back line at the moment. Round Lombard, change of direction.
Tackle off.
Haven't seen a lot of Manuel Russ in this game.
Tackle off, boy.
Super rugby player too. At outside centre for Paarl Boys High. Round Lombard.
Tackle roll.
Daniel Juster taking it in. And Michael Visser.
That's fine, that's a rock. Now leave it, 7.
Well, we've seen these little sunny ball passes a few times in the game and they haven't really worked, but when they do come off, they count for plenty. But this will be another scrum for a knock on there, and Paarl Roos don't want to rue the fact at the end of this match that they've not been accurate enough.
Oh, poor little Tian Kutsia saw himself being lined up by Salman Murat. He got rid of it rather quickly. And again, it's another knock on that's hindering the progress of both these sides attacking forays. Nicety in the fact that if you do get it right and move the ball through the hands, there are plenty of opportunities in the wider channel. But at the moment, they're looking for route one, and you just feel that their attack is somewhat stagnated, both these sides, Gavin.
Just saw a picture of Sean Erasmus there, the coach of Paarl Boys High.
Fine.
Yeah, their frustration certainly is evident. And that's Paarl Roos's frustration.
Angle, up.
And you'll see the Paarl Boys' backs are lined up in a V. And they'll look to go either side. You see it's a V formation that they've got. They can go left and right, but they'll be looking to employ the pace of Lombard and get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, going left might well be there. While it's not, they're going to go the other direction. So Lombard bringing in the other Lombard. The fullback, that is Gianni Visser. Daniel Juster. Oh dear, it's another penalty. This time, again, it's Paarl Boys High giving away these penalties that will be really disappointing to them, especially when you are up against the educated boots of Willemse and Vermeulen.
And again, it's your Bears in the thick of things again. 11 penalties conceded by Paarl Boys to the 7 of the home side. Look at the work at the breakdown by the number 7 flanker. He was missed in the clean by Murat, and he's won his side a penalty.
It's another short line out for Paarl Roos. And their calls around that have worked really well. Just see the commitment of Paarl Boys High defensively at more time once that ball was caught. It made things very difficult for Paarl Roos.
Both sets of players just need to keep their cool here. Blue head is needed in this scenario. They're getting frustrated with the referee, and the man in the middle won't take too kindly to Schoolboys answering back to him. And the last thing either of these outfits want is a yellow card for back chatting.
I do remember a couple of games ago where Paarl Roos right winger David Lee Moses was given a red card for a dangerous tackle. You're quite right. Cards, you don't really want them at a schoolboy level. Paarl Boys High also have Bjorn Ferrie onto the field. He'll be packing down in the flank position.
Get the ball.
Kutsia. Willemse. Good running out and an opportunity now for Paarl Roos. Some tight defence from Paarl Boys High, which has been evident from them all season. And then BJ Dixon trying to find a gap. One wonders too if Paarl Roos rather want to try and play the ball wider when they're looking to be a little bit more incisive. It's such a good pack of forwards that Paarl Boys High have, and defensively they're so well organised, as they've shown again there.
Yet another penalty at the breakdown, falling over, and you'll need to have a chat to both these outfits now, because the breakdown is becoming a real problem for not only the home side but for the visitors as well. Oh, bathed in sunshine, the supporters of both these outfits have got a wonderful afternoon. As we see, Eden Topley receiving some attention.
Well, that's a solid enough kick then from Rayon Lombard. Eden Topley really just seems to have perhaps a little bit of a pointer on that right arm of his.
Oh, then guys, stop something on.
So a couple more changes being made.
Captain, ready?
You see that Tian du Plessis is on for Paarl Boys High. He's replacing Henry van Heerden. That's very sleight of hand. Now here comes Manuel Russ. He might get penalised. Well, he's not penalised, but for crawling on the ground with the ball. Michael Visser, very quick delivery from the base of the scrum.
On the ball. Give the gate.
Well, you mentioned, or we've mentioned the number of penalties. There's confirmation of the replacement, but the number of penalties in this game has unfortunately just created a little bit of a stuttering in the match. It hasn't flowed as evenly as we would have liked because of that.
And from those penalties, somebody needs to do something magic. Manny Russ got his hands on the ball, just couldn't convert it, as we see another lengthy touch finder coming in from Josh Vermeulen. That's a super kick, but somebody needs to break this game open, do something magical, and the home side will be looking to their talisman in Willemse to produce it.
I think they'll be keeping an eye on the scoreboard too, because they know they've got to score twice, and at the moment they have not scored any points in this second half.
More guys, it's on a tackle, it's more. It's on a tackle.
Oh, it's Paarl Boys High that come away with it. Lovely little offload. Again, you can see how brilliant their play has been this season, their support play.
Hands off.
And also the timing of their passes. They get the ball away quickly. They open things for the backline players and the speedsters in their team. Moses, who's got one try. Lombard comes back in field. Again, it goes through how many pairs of hands. Captain Salman Murat. Visser.
Advantage.
Another chance for them as Franco Horn goes in. And, well, it's going to be a penalty to Paarl Boys High. We've seen it a couple of times, Gareth, where they've managed to get out of their 22 and finish in the opposition 22. Whether that's a penalty kick or carrying the ball up, they've done really well with it. And one also feels that this is the right decision for them. They've got a 10-point lead. Why do they need to mess around? Take 3 points that are on offer.
And that'll mean that Paul Roos would have to score 2 converted tries if they were to come away victorious. But again, they've made a break from inside their own half and haven't been able to finish it. And you would have expected Gianni Lombard to back his pace in that situation. However, he's been presented with another opportunity now to extend this lead. He hasn't had a stellar day with the boot as the fullback Lombard, and he'll be wanting to knock this over.
Well, he had 1 out of 4. He's now got 2 out of 5. And it's an important kick as well for Paarl Boys High, because it has stretched that lead now to 13 points.
This was the interplay between Eugene Johannes and Lombard, and they both got hammered in the tackle. And they just got twisted. However, it's worked out favourably for Paarl Boys.
Change of direction there from Damien Willemse. Works really well for Bruce Kutsia. He's number 8.
Got the advantage.
That's a huge tackle there from Salman Murat.
Got it, Captain.
That's numbers 4 on numbers 5. Jesse Johnson, well, no, he's been in the tackle.
Gee whiz, we felt it up here in the commentary position. Salman Murat put in a thunderous hit.
1.99 meters, 110 kilograms. That's some tackle. Watch this.
Jesse Johnson has just been lined up
Guys, hit in quicker.
from Brook Street. He hit him all the way into Bloemhof
Guys,
School.
grab 10.
Brilliant hit by Murat.
Well, the time has come now for Paarl Roos to score points. They know they've got to score now. Time is running out. But the Paarl boys' high defense has held so well when it's been needed. Willemse into the half gap and then just made a hash of the offload.
Play on!
Oh, Michael Visser's kick downfield. Now Josh Vermeulen, what can he do from here? Well, he's got too close to the touchline, but it's a very good offload from him to Collier Lewis.
You got it?
One's got to admire the defensive work of Paarl Boys High this season. It's been exceptional, to say the least. They've also managed to slow down delivery of the ball at the rucks. Josh Vermeulen now deciding he's had enough. He wants to be part of, but they've got to hold on to the ball, have Paarl Roos, and they're not doing that.
Captain. Clearly on this side on the ball, please.
Again, hands in the ruck. And one thinks that this tactic of plugging for the touchline is not the right one. They need to quicken up the game to Paarl Roos. And in saying that, Willemse's missed a crucial touch finder.
Come.
He would have worked out the points as they stand.
Go for a kick now. Scrum. Scrum only. No, just hold it, Captain. Just hold it. Guys, just hold it. I kan hier niks meer. Ja? Achter doe het. Scrum. Option. Okay, sorry. Okay, it's good, yeah, you can play. I just couldn't hear what you were saying. Sorry about that.
Little discussion there from the referee with his assistant referee, but they'll continue again with the 22-meter dropout. Back foot there, Hanre de Toy. Damian Willemse. Charge down. Nothing wrong with that. Now they can play. Can Paarl Boys High. Michael Visser quickly through the hands. Big Salman Murat. I'll tell you what, Big Salman Murat has just had the ball wrenched away from him. That's good play from Paarl Roos. Now they kick it straight down the throat of Gianni Lombard. That's the worst thing you can do, because this guy can really open things up. Lovely kick from him. Doesn't quite get the bounce. Willemse. Well, the passes fall into the hands of the speedster on the right wing. Which way does this ball bow? Dear, he's kicked it straight into touch as David Lee Moses. Not much room to move in, but it was almost exactly what Paarl Roos needed.
Oh, what skill by Damian Willemse. He throws the sunny ball out the back of the hand. It finds Moses, the miracle ball, and Moses just needed it to stay in field. He had burnt Manny Russ on the outside, but unfortunately for the right winger, his ball went into touch.
Tackles out! Get the ball. Take it.
So which way does Michael Visser go now? We've seen a lot of kicking over the top from him. Again, it's the kick back onto Moses. He's thumped into the deck too.
He fell back.
There's some big boys in this Paarl Boys High side. Wrestle the ball away. Charles Sedane coming away with it.
Go one. Stay.
So now Josh Vermeulen with a bit of work to do, but it's a good favourable bounce and a chance here on that occasion for Tiaan du Plessis, and it's a finishing touch here. Paarl Boys High have certainly come very close to sealing the match with that try.
I'll mark that down to Tiaan du Plessis. He found space. The bounce of the ball went the way of Paarl boys. And brilliant following up work by the men in blue and white. He smacked it ahead. The bounce of the ball went into his hands. And then look at the offload to the ever-present number 17, MJ Strauss. The replacements working in unison. And the burly front ranker has got in for the third try and has surely put this game to bed for the visitors.
I think that's a lot of what we've been saying, is the support play has been so good. So to have a tight forward up there after a chip and chase and a favourable bounce. No problem with the conversion then for Lombard. And that is now a healthy lead for Paarl Boys High.
Well, letting the ball bounce to Paul Roos in between Vermeulen and Moses. And then the offload was sublime from the replacement, Tian Duplessis, in unison with Strauss. And the big front ranker canted over for try number 3.
You've got to stop. 7 off.
Also have confirmation that Eric Maybach is on for Franco Horn. Well, one's got to give credit to Sean Erasmus and Elmo Vorfart and the Paarl Boys High coaching staff for the type of rugby that's being played. And certainly there's been something exceptional offloading from Paarl Boys High.
Send him on.
That's Hans Kutzier and Johan Hubert were the 2 replacements, not Franco Horn and Eric Maybach. Again, Willemse changes direction. Taken by Charlie Lombard. He really has been an ever-present threat against this Paarl Roos side.
That's right, no. Tight for this.
Tian Duplessis trying to find a bit of space. He's had a busy afternoon for the few minutes that he's been on as a replacement. Lombard. Salman Murat, not an easy man to bring down. Visser. They've got such good delivery from the breakdown points, have Paarl Boys High. They really are starting to come into their own right now. Duplessis. Space found, and not enough of it, unfortunately, and then not holding on to the ball were the Paarl Boys High players. So it'll be a scrum here to Paarl Roos.
No advantage.
And what they're doing well are Paarl Boys. They're holding on to possession and they're tiring out this Paarl Roos defense. And a lot of those maroon fellas look like they're entering the stadium for the last 400 meters with their comrades. They look absolutely out on their feet. And the tackles made 55 from Paarl Roos up against the 41 from Paarl Boys. And tackles missed. Well, look at that, 28 to the 12 of Paarl Boys. If you miss your first time tackles, Gavin, doesn't matter which side you're involved in, you're never going to win the contest.
Crouch. Bind. Shit. Fine, stay down, tick, stay down.
So Paarl Roos in their 22. They've got to throw caution to the wind. They've got to find a way through. They are scoreless in the second half. Oh dear. That's a high tackle. Arm slung out there from Josh Vermeulen. Visser.
Release him.
Well, they've got a lot more rhythm in this second half of the second half, have Paarl Boys High. Of course, they're getting good possession too. They're using it well. They're finding space. They're absolutely screaming through. There's another try for them. Absolutely brilliant play there. Franco Horn on that occasion.
Well deserved for the man in the number 7 jersey, Franco Horn. He's been outstanding this afternoon. And again, it's that inside pass from Visser, who's been a real threat the whole afternoon. The little flick inside the Gregan pass, and Franco Horn has burnt the defence. And he's in for try number 4 for Paarl boys. And now this has become a rout.
I'd have a word with him, please.
Paarl boys are well and truly going to run out victorious.
Just have a word with 15
Just by
on the tackle.
how many? Gavin, hasn't Michael Visser shown up prominently, the little scrum off? His delivery from the base has been crisp. He's proved a thorn in the side of Paarl Roos's defence all afternoon. And again, once again, that little flick inside has proved influential in the outcome of this contest.
It's another difficult conversion attempt, this some distance away, and hasn't quite found its mark. But have a look at that score. 28 points to 3, Paarl boys high. He's so happy with the result at the end of the day, but they've had to work hard for it.
Well, it's a flick inside, and the replacement in the form of Kutsia was just too late as Franco Horn thundered in for try number 4 for the men from Paarl.
Damian Willemse with a pretty deep kick in on this occasion. Not much room for Eugene Johannes to work with there. No, Kutsia. Been a really tough day for Bruce Kutsia at number 8 for Paarl boys high. They've had to contend with a pack of forwards that's been quite rampant at times for Paarl boys high. Willemse, does he get the favourable bounce? No, it goes the way of Paarl boys high.
He took him out.
But it was an early tackle there.
Just it impeded Damian Willemse's line of running as Paarl Roos decided to tap and go quickly.
David Lee Moses unable to find any space out wide.
Forward pass.
In fact, it was a forward pass, says Benny Botma. Well, it's down to the last minute.
Frustrating for Paarl Roos because they just couldn't seem to string any passes together. But credit to Paarl boys' defence. They've had a stellar afternoon in the form of their big loosies who've put in massive hits on the opposition. And it's told on the scoreboard where they will run out victorious by those 25 points or so. And mark it down to that defensive effort. 2 weeks in a row they've come up against Grey College from Bloemfontein and today Paarl Roos from Stellenbosch, and their defences proved resolute in the final outcome.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. That ball's out, so Benny Botma says no, I'm going to scrum again. And as you can see, the sands of time have run out, so this will be the last play of the match. Michael Visser with a put in.
Oh, Gavin, Michael Visser will want to hoik this into touch. Time is over. And Paarl boys will want to take the win and move on.
Well, we said last play, of course, that's if it's not a penalty, so the penalties come, and a last chance to try and get some points in the second half here for Paarl Roos.
Release him, release him.
Just have a look at that defensive work there from Paarl boys high. Oh, there's a knock on, and that's surely going to be it.
Got here.
One thing about the exuberance of youth is that the players love to just play on, but someone will say to them, just kick the ball out. So we've won this match, and we don't need to make any further plays. There is the confirmation of the match. And once again, a super match here, which has been won by Paarl boys high, comfortably in the end by 28 points to 3.